It's the cloud. Okay. I hate this part. Welcome back to season 4 of the Doggone
Woohoo!
Truth About Rescue. I cannot believe we are here. We took a little hiatus. No, we didn't take a hiatus. We just ended season 3 for the holidays, which were still a very busy time of everything going on. But here we are, season 4. Sai, our co-host, if you're new here, has some exciting news to share about a big number that we hit as we concluded season 3. Go ahead, Sai.
Oh, we hit 25,000 downloads ending our season 3. So, woohoo!
I want to hit that many just in this season.
I
Not
agree.
that many in one episode. Could you imagine?
We're
Anywho,
getting
We will do
there.
that.
Slowly
Yeah.
but surely, we're getting there.
and it wouldn't be a season kickoff without co-host. I'm just going to call you that now. Wendowski. Co-host squared Wendowski is with us today as well. Hi, Jen.
I am grateful for you guys doing this and inviting me. And it's just an amazing opportunity to share. I know that I say this all the time, but you guys had no idea how to run a podcast 4 years ago. And you jumped into the deep end. And now look at where we are with touching so many lives that wouldn't have the opportunity to get to know us. We're a rescue that's 100% transparent, and we want people to know who we are, what we do behind the scenes, as well as not just on social media. So this is an incredible outlet to get to know new people in a way just of conversations. And if there ever is a topic, email us, write to us. We want to share as much as we can, because that's what life is: sharing, learning, growing, and always trying to make today better than it was yesterday to build a better tomorrow.
Beautiful. You know what I think our goal should be for this season? I want to be the New Heights version of Rescue podcasts.
I love
So do you
that.
know what New Heights are?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just making sure. Or better yet, Kylie Kelsey's, because she's even number
She's
one. Let's do the
empowering.
Kylie Kelsey
Yeah.
cast of Rescue. I think we can do it. And like how she does it on Instagram of like the split face and like I know they have like a ton of interns and people that work for them that do it, but we can figure it out.
Everything is figure outable.
Yeah.
So,
Except TikTok is TBD.
oh yeah, that might be gone.
But
We'll go with the flow. That's what we do.
find us on the IG, maybe YouTube.
Red
Where do
note.
you want to start? I
Um,
think the last time it was before the gala.
it was. You know what? How about we start with some 2024 stats for those that, because I got that in front of me. I thought it'd be a good thing to share. In 2024, guys, we've been open 6.5 years. If you're new to our rescue, it's so funny. I was just sitting the other day thinking, Cy and Sheila actually were on this farm when it was an old horse barn, when literally it was just a dream, and I had just moved here, and it didn't look anything like our little red barn right now. It literally looked like horses would be there, open stalls kind of thing. And so when you guys saw it when it was, God, what am I looking for? When it was just in fantasy, essentially, when it was a spark of imagination, where we were just kind of seeing things the way that nobody else saw it, where a shelter is a home, where people want to come, where you leave feeling good about donating your time and volunteering, and not going home feeling sick about the dogs or cats that you can't always take with you. And to know that we had a dream, and we were all from different backgrounds. None of us were really connected. If you think about that, we're all from all over the country too. And to know that even just from that, to be here now, it's actually 7.5 years later, because that was when it was 2017 when we were building the barn together. To know that we're in different countries, we're all over the world, and we are sharing our mission of love. Like, how profoundly moving is that, to know that just in some small way we have touched so many lives, to say, hey, if they can do it, we can do it. And it really is just about treating every soul with love. And that goes to the animals and that goes to each other. So we are a rescue that invests in people, that invests in lives, that goes all in on faith and says, when we don't know how, just like this podcast, we're willing to learn, we're willing to try, we're willing to fail, and we're willing to keep going and never give up until we figure it out. So just starting off 2025, blah, blah, 2025 with so much gratitude for the willingness to fail. So many people don't do things because they are afraid of that. And failure is one of the most beautiful lessons God can ever give us. And to be open to change and to be open to challenging the way things are, the status quo, it's always been this way, you can't do it any other way. And that is so hard in rescue because everybody has this one track mindset. This is how you do it. This is the way it's been. And the story of Osawatomie, you guys, I know I wanted to start with stats, but then my mind goes all over the place. We are
We're
about to
gonna do it.
finish the renovations in Osawatomie. We have a bathroom in there now. This was a true 100% kill shelter, not open to the public, not one single window. When a dog or cat went there, they never left, never. And so the past of Osawatomie is so tragic. But then you look at where we are today to where 5.5 years later, not one single animal has died for space. The new building is now renovated. There's a bathroom, there's windows, there's a cat room, the floors. It's truly sustainable. We're doing our final walkthrough on Tuesday. You know, miracles only happen if you have the courage to try and you have the faith and you have the relentless willpower to never give up, because nothing in life that is ever worth doing is going to be easy. And that's what I love about the people at Always and Forever. We don't do easy. We do right. We go all in on what we believe in, and we let God guide us in the direction we're meant to be. We never thought we would be here. I mean, I didn't. Just thinking about the Little Red Barn, we started as an old dog sanctuary, and now it's every dog, every cat we can possibly save. Pretty sure there's a couple miniature horses and goats coming our way too. So we
Brother
are
Brick.
we are expanding to, because that's the thing. Everyone is a soul. And that's what we believe. We're all God's creatures and every soul deserves love. So 6.5 years later, in 2024, we actually rescued 883 dogs and cats. We had 743 adoptions, and we paid for 454 spays and neuters. So just thinking about that number alone, from being a little red barn that had max capacity of 19 with 2 or 3 volunteers. And it started with somebody who moved out here, totally introvert, doesn't know how to talk to people, backward, like anxiety, like, and to build, we're a community. We're a family. We are friends. We drop everything in the middle of the night to pick up a puppy for a foster who threw her back out, to jump on 24/7 med calls and put all these lives ahead of our own, to know that what we're doing truly is making a difference. So I cannot say thank you enough to every person that believes in the stream, that supports the stream, that gives their life for the stream to keep going. And that's the thing. Dreams really do come true. It's just what you're willing to put into it. So starting with a thank you. That's where we're at. There's so much to be grateful for. And our Oz shelter will be done. We're doing our final walkthrough next week. So
Is
very,
there gonna
very
be
excited.
a grand opening?
Well, we've been open. So
Grand opening?
grand opening, yes, in the spring. We do have open houses there every Saturday too. And that's such an interesting thing too. We've learned, I know I started this with talking about that, but we truly have learned from making every single mistake possible. Last year we did a podcast and I shared our entire adoption and foster team walked out, deuces. They left us and they left angry. They left wanting us to fail. Now, these are very good people. And so let me put context back to that. We always draw good people into Always and Forever. That doesn't mean that I'm going to be a perfect leader or be a perfect boss. or never make mistakes. So there was a lot to learn and there was a lot to grow from with that. And many, many situations I should have handled differently. So to take a step back and say, gosh, that hardest time that we went through, where you look inside and you say, okay, what do we need to do differently as an organization? And what do I need to do differently as a leader to protect my people more, to empower them? And we revamped our entire adoption and foster team. And it's amazing now. And again, the most beautiful people are drawn to it because why? Because we're built off of second chances. And I don't read the Bible. I should. I'm a Christian. I just kind of
You're reverend.
I know, but I little things stick in my head, and I always say, those are kind of God winks where something pops in your head. It's not me. And I don't even know what the scripture is on that, but like Jesus forgave 7 times 7 times 7 times 7, something like that. So who am I to say you only get a 1 second chance or you only get 1/3 chance? And it was so funny. I was on a call with Sue George the other day, and at the exact same time, we were talking about second chances, and literally at the exact same time she goes, well, you always give 9,000 chances. And I said, I always give 18,000 chances. And out of all the numbers in the world we both could have picked, she literally picked 9,000 and I picked 18,000, which was double it. So I feel very, very proud of Sue that she went from like 7 second chances to 9,000. But it's just so funny how you get to know each other and you just know that we're here to be human. We can never be anything more than human. So we're going to make mistakes, and forgiving each other for being human. That's part of being a family, and that's part of being something bigger than yourself and say, yeah, you're going to screw up, but we're going to learn and grow beside each other and share our failures, share our lessons, and keep going together because we know for the greater good, these animals need us to. And we really need each other in so many ways. I want to be here today. I want to be the person I am. I wouldn't have the love in my heart if it wasn't for all the people that surround me every single day and say, keep going. So it's not easy. It's never going to be easy. The amount of extreme medical just in January that we have taken on is astounding. I think that we're at probably $45,000 in extraordinary medical expenses. Now, that's not spay and neuters, that's not heartworm treatments, that's not preventatives. This is MRIs, CT scans, mastectomies, C-sections. We're talking all of the surgeries that most other rescues don't take on. They let the animal pass because who has $4,000 to do an MRI on a dog to determine if there is a brain tumor or if there is a route that we could, if it's meningitis, do a spinal tap? And when you take a step back, we really don't have excess funds to do that. I say this all the time. We have excess faith to know that people will believe that if it was my dog and I had the ability to fund an MRI for my dog, I would do it. I would go to the ends of the earth for my dog. I've mortgaged my house twice for these dogs. I've emptied my 401k twice because I believe in this rescue so much. And I also believe in the right now. Why would I wait for myself to retire? I'm never retiring. This is what I love. Now I'm a volunteer for Always and Forever. Let me be very clear on that. I do work as an attorney as well. But the work provides towards this value. But if I had someone I loved and their dog was going to die if they didn't do a surgery, let's say it's a $4,000 leg amputation, because sometimes it can be that much, or a knee surgery, and I had the funds, in a split second, I know every single one of us would be like, okay, here, because we have the funds. Sure. I love you. You love your dog. I love your dog. Here you go. Not everybody has $4,000. So I personally, I don't. My savings, I spend it. But it's saying, okay, we know you love your dog. This dog might not even have an owner. Let's be the family this dog never had, and let's all give what we can and find a way. So it's having the faith that people will believe that every single soul deserves someone to love them, and collectively our love together Guys, that's what moves mountains. That's why we do the impossible. And that's why every day we know, even when we don't know how it's going to work out, even when we have $45,000 in medical expenses in 17 days. Like it's staggering to think that. And they just keep adding up. We took in 2 new completely malnourished, emaciated, just as skinny as McHale dogs in Wichita that were basically starving to death. And what do you have there? They're in the ICU now for at least 5 days. You got to do x-rays to make sure that there's not a something stuck in their stomach. You got to watch for refeeding syndrome. They've got to be on IV fluids. They're in the ICU. So you're talking 3,000 to 5,000 each. And that's just 2 more dogs we took in today. Like the list is endless with the amount of care and we provide for these animals. But here's the bottom line. If we don't, they die. And we truly do believe that every soul deserves someone to believe their life matters. And if that requires us to have the most crazy exponential faith on this earth, then we're going to step up to the plate. We're going to be the rescue that does that. And know that God will guide us through, because he's done it for the last 7.5 years. And nothing about Always and Forever has been because of one individual. It has been because of all of us and because we're working towards a higher purpose. And that I know in my soul. So I know we put a time cap on this podcast, but it's so, guys, it's so easy to share because there's so much love in this organization. And I wish with all my heart to anyone that has supported us or followed us in any types of social media, I hope that one day you can step into one of our locations and just feel the magic, because what our staff does, what our medical team, what our volunteers do, what our fosters do, the love is contagious. I like to call us a virus, like we get in people's skin and it's really hard to get rid of us because we just connect you.
Don't say that.
It is. I've said it in the call and they're like, that's terrible. You can't do it. But that's what we are, because good luck getting us out of your blood. Good luck. Even if we've made mistakes, we do such. And by we, it's everyone else. They give so much love. You just can't help but feel that. And what a great virus to have. Like, bring it on. Get me sick. I don't get sick. Oh, we got to talk behind me.
Even they don't agree with it.
Okay.
Wait, that's so funny. I'm not used to
Okay.
a dog that can hear, and Brody jumped up because he heard the barking, which then made Kingston jump up. Kingston has no idea why he's getting up.
Here.
Anyways. No, you are good,
So,
Jen. Go on.
maybe this is a short episode.
What? That's all you have to say?
No, there are days where you're just humbled. You kind of lose your words for just appreciation of everyone. It's such an amazing thing. Now, I'm in every message group, not because I want to, because there's probably some tidbit that I can provide some value, but in so many ways, we have leaders on every aspect of our rescue, and to watch to where it's so funny because 6.5 years ago when we first started, we never had a meeting, and it was Craig who was like, Jen, you need a meeting. And it's like, no, we don't do meetings. I don't want to talk to people. It's like we never had meetings before. And we really truly shifted from like, hey, we're just doing this mom and pop thing to, hold on, this is real. Like we are having a profound impact where now we have a full board and quarterly board meetings. We are audited, and we've got every single team has a meeting. We have, I think, let's see, we have 45 staff members, 45 members on staff. And a lot of different rescues don't do that. We lost a lot of volunteers when we shifted from, apologies, let me switch that. We lost a lot of supporters when we switched from volunteers to team members. And why? Because they want 100% of their funds to go to the animals. Well, here's what I'll tell you. 100% of your funds still go to the animals, because you're investing in the people who are giving their lives to care for them, to love them. You would not get the type of care that you get if you pay someone that you value minimum wage. And why would we ever want our people to go home and to have to suffer financially? So that is a huge stereotype we fight, because everyone in our rescue does so much good. They deserve to be valued and treated just like they've put in. And that is breaking the stereotype of going home, and people in rescue shouldn't suffer. Like, that's why we incorporate the fun, we incorporate the love, and we've got to have a podcast where Shelby and Miranda come and talk all about the fun events, because there has to be a balance. This is our one life. And if we're just going to focus on the doom and gloom and everything that we have failed to do, all the animals that have died, everyone that we were not able to save, we will die inside. We will die inside every day and miss all of the joy of 883 rescues that we took in last year. And we will miss the joy that's around us. And life is about the moments. Life is about looking around and being humbled and saying, my God, look at what you've given us, and thank you. Every morning I get to go in, right now it's 10 degrees outside, or 3 degrees. It's going to be insanely cold in the morning. And I get to freeze my fingers trying to record a video of all the dogs that I've grown. And then I do a live with all the videos so people can see the dogs in the environment. What a blessing. You know, I'm out there at 4:30 in the morning every day, and I have 2 legs to walk out in the cold. I have fingers to hold the phone. I have eyes to see these dogs. I have ears to hear. And there is nothing on my worst possible day, and I've had them, that can ever keep me as low as I've been in my life before, when I had lost hope, that these animals don't give me, because they live every moment and right now. And what a beautiful reminder that this is what we have, this moment right now. I can't change anything around me. I can't change yesterday. I can't even change tomorrow, but I can make today the best that I can, so that some way, somehow, tomorrow will be a little bit better. And that's who we are. That's what we do. And that's why so many good people are drawn to be a part of us. You don't have to have a rescue background. I think 90% of us didn't. You know, we all bring different strengths to it. And I do listen to a ton of podcasts on leadership and on growth, because it is about mindset. It is about learning. And in a lot of ways, people look to their leader to say, hey, what's going on in this organization? And that's why I'm on the lives. That's why I want people to get to know me. That's why no question is off the table, because many people assume that rescues and shelters are good. I'm one that used to do that too. But not every shelter is good. Not every rescue is good. And not every kill shelter has bad people in it too. Ask the questions. Get to know people behind the scenes in good times and in bad times. I know we've talked a lot about Wichita too. I won't repeat that. Nothing has changed there, but we never stop praying for that. And we never stop giving up hope and finding a way. So with Always and Forever, with our future, Osawatomie Shelter is just about done. So amazing things ahead with that. We are helping Miami County now. We are helping Gardner. And the great part about that is, you know, the stray animals that come in, we just, you know, when they come in, we move them out. We've got more fosters coming in. We've got more adopters. I know I said this all the time, good attracts good. And there's just so many good people that are coming in that we are so grateful for in every aspect. I've been talking. What questions you got, guys?
I just always think it's so funny when you're like, I never wanted to talk to anybody. I didn't want to have meetings. And then you just talked for, what is that, the timer? 20 minutes straight.
Oh my gosh, I did. Well, when you love something, it's easy to talk about it. That's the bottom line. If you had me talk about anything else, I would be awkwardly staring at the wall in a corner, like totally ridiculous. You've seen me. I can't go to a bar, or I can't be anywhere like normal people do things and
No.
talk. Put a dog there, and I will talk to the dog. That's what I do.
I know what
So.
else we can talk about. The tiny homes at KCMO. That's been announced, right?
Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up. Really exciting things ahead. So yeah, we were thinking all in on the tiny homes. That's what we can do, right? TK and Copper had an amazing tiny home built, and
Yeah,
we got to get on our property. Yeah. So what did we do? We had the survey done on our new KCMO property, and what of course happens? Where we want to put our tiny homes? Totally not possible. Love that about our lovely little zoning laws and FEMA and flood zones and all things I wish I could just throw out the window. So, Judy, as we're on a board call, and God bless Rob, our contractor, because anytime I get on a call and he tells me no, I say, well, why? And then let's just, walk me through something else to get us from your no to my yes. So I am that person that literally never stops asking questions until we do zigzags all over the way. But so what happened, if you guys think of the layout of KCMO and where you walk in, and it's not an event center, but the big room when you walk in. Now there is a warehouse to the right, a beautiful big warehouse, huge, tall, high ceilings. Judy's like, well, why don't we just move the tiny homes inside since the building's already up? And we make it a village. So what we're going to do, we're going to have sanctuary suites. So we're going to put the tiny homes inside. We're going to have an inside sanctuary suites village to where the walls are already up. We don't have to build outside of the buildings that we've already built. And it's just going to be this amazing kind of little like wraparound village where they're going to have the same size tiny homes just within there. And it's going to be the most amazing thing ever. And it's actually going to be permitted to do that. So it's so funny because when we hit a roadblock, we just all start brainstorming, and I love when the ideas don't come from me, because a lot of them, actually, Judy was the one who thought of TK's tiny home too. She brought it up and I was like, well, why didn't you bring that up sooner? And to build it on our land. So it's just amazing when you put people together, and this was a board call with Rob, and you're getting the bad news, you're getting the no. And I don't really accept no as an answer. I don't know if you guys know that. No is just, a roundabout way to get to your yes. You never know how to get there, but will you get there? That's why I said Rob is a saint. But now we're going to do these sanctuary suites. It's going to be a little tiny home village inside that warehouse there, and it's going to be amazing. And the goal is to have them done by August. Now, will we hit that? Who knows? Those are goals. We're limited by the county and getting building permits and so forth, but steps are being taken, and I think that's an amazing thing. I will also share that we have started our biweekly meetings for St. Francis Homestead Hospital East.
Wow.
And that is my passion, and that is my purpose for this year, where I want to open a vet center on our homestead, to where ultimately it will be run by St. Jude, to be donation based, and kind of like what I talked about before. Let's say there's a loving owner and this is what sparked it. We had a cat named Wasabi, and he had been in a foster for 2 days and totally acting fine, maybe a year and a half old. And it was a Saturday afternoon, and we did a med call. Beth, our amazing cat coordinator, called, and she said, Wasabi's sick. We've got to get him to Blue Pearl. Went to our regular vet, and our regular vet said, something more is going on. You've got to go to the emergency vet. Of course, Saturday, 4:00, none of the surgeons or any of the specialists are there. So we go there, and they're like, $4,000. Now, this cat was fine on Friday. $4,000 just for supportive care for one night, to bring in I don't even know if it was the oncologist, it was the specialized vet, it was to do all these different tests, because it was after 4 p.m. too. So people were coming in. Name a person, just like I said, who has $4,000 sitting in their bank account for a 1.5-year-old cat. Now, what happens? Most people let them go, because that's just not a possibility, or many people don't even take them in, and they suffer and die at home. So my goal is, on top of our veterinarian center for all of our animals in our rescue care, is to, well, number one, we have to learn more, but number two, have it be an emergency-based referral system, just like St. Jude, to help the animals with loving owners in emergencies that otherwise wouldn't be able to get that care. Because what you see, and this is another really great example, we had a dog, not our dog, we actually had a vet reach out to us. An emergency vet called us, and they said, they call our med team, and then our med team chats with our intake team, and then it comes to me, and they said, there is a dog that is in labor. She had 2 puppies that died at home. 2 puppies have died in her belly, and there's 1 puppy we believe is alive that is stuck in her birth canal. She is about to go septic and she is dying. It's $5,000 for a C-section on this puppy. Now, backstory on this was a breeder. Now, is this breeder licensed? I have no idea. Do I know anything about this person? No. I'm giving you the facts that we know. We're presented with a phone call that says this dog is going to die without a C-section. The owner can't afford it. Now, what do we normally do if we're going to help an animal? We take the animal into our care, right? And then it's our animal, then we fundraise. There was no time for this. We didn't ask for an owner surrender. We didn't ask for anything. We just said, we got the phone call. And in many times it's just a judgment call and say, hey, what would you do? And you follow your gut. The dog was dying. She was about to go septic. She needed a C-section. And we said, okay, we will pay for the surgery, $5,000. So we did. Then we have our intake team call the owner and say, but here is the condition. We said she has to be spayed during the surgery. That way she couldn't be used for breeding again. So we said, we will pay for it as only if she is spayed. So we had her, saved her life. The puppy had died within her. So she lost 5 babies that day.
Oh, do they
All
know what
back
caused
the owner.
something like that?
Sometimes you just have to get the dog to the vet when they get stuck like that. And I don't know. I don't know enough about whelping as well.
Mm.
I do know that if you're inexperienced with labor and whelping and all that stuff, there can be complications, and you want someone that has gone through that before. But as I shared, this was a breeder that, here's the thing, I didn't even know what whelping meant. And I still kind of throw that word around, not being knowledgeable, but she knew it. So it tells me that there's something more to this story. And there always is. You never know if you're getting the truth or not. And in so many circumstances, we just take people for what they tell us. I am a person that will always trust people, and that's to a fault. And I've learned, I've been burned a million times on that, but that's me. I refuse to change me based off somebody else. And that's how we're all unique in that. But this person, when we told after she was spayed, we had Kelly give her a call and say, hey, she's spayed now. She's going to have follow-up surgeries and medical situations. Would you consider signing her over to us? And many conversations went back and forth, and she did. She signed her over to us. I think we posted her on our main page, and within 2 hours, I can't even tell you the amount of hate messages we got from the owner, from the friends, saying we stole the dog from them. And like all of the comments that we lied to them, that we coerced them. And like, number one, the surgery was already done. We were already paying for it. She signed the owner surrender after. What we ended up doing was we actually ended up transferring the dog to another rescue we trusted. We inherited a $5,000 bill. We paid it because it was the right thing to do, and we saved her life. Now that's the situation where you're going to have the balance of looking at the dog, looking at the owner. To us and the cat, we're going to choose the animal, and we're going to do what we need to do to save the animal. So there's so many discussions where we have to figure out, how do we not be taken advantage of, not and help the people who truly need us. Now, we kicked off these bi-weekly meetings with a core group of people to kind of brainstorm. And where I want to make sure that we're focused on is, yeah, there's going to be people that take advantage of this, right? Like, could they pay somewhere else? Sure. Are they going to? Probably not. But if we're helping someone, it doesn't mean that we're not helping someone else. And in having it a mindset where when you put good out, good's going to come back. And we're not going to have all the kinks figured out. But what we need to do right now is we need to get started. Like, we need to get licensed. We need to get with the DEA, with OSHA, with the pharmacy stuff, with all these things I know nothing about. I'm going to jump in and learn the laws and regulations on that. And then what I want to do is hire 2 vets. And I want to have 2 vets on staff. And I don't know if you guys know this, but veterinarians are one of the highest suicide rates of professions. Now take a moment and think about that. Think about someone that gives their lives to save animals. And because of their work environment, they are taking their own life. And that is just beyond tragic, to have someone that loves animals so much that they go to veterinarian school to take their own life because they feel like they aren't doing enough. Now that's prominent in rescue too, but that's why we want to change. We want to change the way shelter medicine is defined, because there should be no shelter in front of medicine. I find that offensive because why should one animal be treated differently than another just because they're homeless? That's like saying somebody who's homeless and walks in the ER should get different type of treatment in the human world. And that's why I want to change that all and break those stereotypes and say, we can do better. And how? Just by believing that every soul matters and saying, maybe we don't know how to do this, but we're going to figure it out. We're going to research how St. Jude's does it and really try to bring in the concepts of, let's help our neighbors. Let's help the people that love their animals but can't afford it. Let's help the elderly that maybe need vaccines for their pets and don't even know that they're supposed to be doing that, with like heartworm preventatives. I didn't even know that. There's so many good people out there that love their pets that need help. Now, we will never be a rescue that does outreach. We won't. That's not one of our strengths. There are amazing rescues that go door to door, that pick up dogs off the street and cats off the street and do what is that? TNR, trap, neuter, release. That is not us. That's not us. What do we do? What do we do great? Love these animals, take care of them, provide the medical, show people how to care for your animals, and set the standard to how shelters should be run. That's what we do. That's what we want to inspire people to invest in. I mean, you're investing in love. You're investing in kindness, and you're investing in not only taking care of your community animals, but your neighbors too. And even the ones that don't like us, because there always are going to be people that don't like us. I think that the more that you grow, the more good that you do, in very many sad ways, the more enemies you create. And that's not a statement about us. That's a statement about them. Because people that see you as a threat, you're only a threat because we're doing things that they didn't think that was possible, or they don't have the courage to try themselves. So did I hit our 45-minute mark? Because I can keep talking, you guys. But
We're at 37 minutes and 27.
You know, but that's the whole thing. You have to start with a dream. You have to start with something that is beyond what you think you can do, that only God can do. Otherwise, you're thinking small and you're thinking like everybody else. We took a little red barn and we have now saved almost 6,000 animals in 6.5 years. Think about that. 6,000 animals. Now think about every single person that has loved those 6,000 animals. Every single person. Our Facebook reach has reached 12 million views in 1 month. Like we are touching people in ways we will never ever know. And that's what consistency is. It's waking up every day, doing the little things with excellence and with love, and inspiring someone else to do just what you do, to love one animal, to start with one, and then go to two, and then just keep going. So why would I retire? That's why I just keep cleaning out my 401k, because I believe in this, and I will put everything I have, everything I am into this rescue, because there's just the best people behind it. And the people are what make it magic. Not just any people, the right people. So I could not be more grateful for what we've done. And I'm so excited to see where 2025 goes, because every year is different. We never ever know where we're going to end up or how it's going to be. And
I would love to go back and listen to some of our season 1, season 2, and what we were talking about then, and how much of it has come to fruition and how much of it is still out there in Mars with some of your other ideas.
Can I just tell you, I listened to our very first episode, and I was taken back. I did. I was taken aback by how much we haven't changed and how much we love, and built on the principles that we stand by. And I love that, because that just shows we are real. Know who's behind your rescue, know who's behind your shelter, and know what their values are when they go through the trenches, when life sucks, and it does. and know who they are when you ride the highs, because it's going to be highs, it's going to be lows, it's not always going to be easy, but it's going to be amazing, and it's always always going to be worth it. And I
Sad
am
people.
confident we are going to reach every single goal of 2025. I don't know what they are yet, but we're going to reach them. It's late. I'm losing my words. So
That's why I set a time
you're
limit. 'Cause I know once you get to a certain point, you get like
well,
loopy and a little out of it because you wake up at like 4 a.m. So this is like midnight for
I
you.
do. It is. And it just doesn't stop. We really don't ever stop. Our teams are always working, the dogs and the cat side. The cat side is amazing, you guys.
Well,
I
I was
wish I
looking
was
at the
involved more in
numbers,
the cat
and
side.
those numbers were higher in 2024 of rescues. There was like two or
Yeah.
three of the numbers that were higher than dogs, that we've done
So
more with cats the last year.
486 cats in 2024. And that's amazing. That speaks to Greta in Wichita. We've increased our movement there. Beth out here as well. It's the amazing PetSmart team. They're all just great. It's just really
Well,
good
especially
people
with
doing really
cats,
great
of
things together.
how, like with the spay and neutered on them and then getting them into homes, how much, 46 you said, of like how much that minimizes the reproduction of what it
Yeah.
could be. I
Oh
know
my gosh.
Shelby
Yeah.
that before of like how many cats can have within like a very short of time, and just like
It's
why
disturbing,
that's such a big
right?
problem.
How
So the
it
fact
can
that
go.
we had got 500 almost, like spayed and
It's
neutered and
yeah.
in homes.
And it starts with one. I mean,
Yeah.
just our single foster, anybody can do what we do. Anybody. You don't have to have a special background. You don't have to have tons of money. You really, really don't. A lot of people say, oh, if I won the lottery, if I was rich. I was not rich when I started this. I went into extreme debt. Not everybody has to go the route that I did, but that was the route that I knew how to do. I went into debt. I knew it was worth it. I have always believed, kind of like student loans, you're investing in yourself. If you're investing in something you believe in, you can't go wrong. You just can't. Not when you lead with love.
Yeah. Hit it, Sai.
No, I just felt like I'm just left church with Jen preaching.
Always. I love
Um,
these episodes because it's going to
Um,
be so
I
easy
do.
to
I'm
edit. Just
just sitting here
listen back to
listening in
it.
awe.
I feel really bad. I
Jen,
just talked the whole time.
No,
no,
I
you're
love these
very
episodes. It's like
inspirational.
my therapist has been on maternity leave for the last 2 months. I just got the reminder email today. She's coming back in 2 weeks. I'm so pumped. But either way, so it's just good to get
Yeah,
the life reminders and updates. And
I agree. Jen, we need a cover dog.
Let's do Pluto. Pluto is such a sweetheart. The story behind him, he's one that has bounced around a few barns to us. He was adopted at 6 months old. We saved him from Wichita Animal Shelter. He had parvo and he was dying, without being treated for that. We thought we found him his forever family. And about 2 years of him being with them, they returned him and said he was dog aggressive. Now they had 5 other dogs in their home. Not every home is meant to have that big of a pack. And you also have to know how to lead a pack that big with boundaries, with rules,
Yeah.
expectations. So no judgment on that. Sometimes, it just doesn't work out. We get it. So he came back into our care. Guys, it's been almost 3 years now. He was at KCMO for a while. We sent him to board and train. We moved him to our little red barn. He's in a pack of 14 dogs now. He's doing great, but he deserves a home. Now he is a big, beautiful, muscular pit bull.
76
Beautiful tan
pounds.
guy. Yeah, big dude. Maddox is 78, so he's just as big as Maddox. And he's just a lovable oaf. I don't know any other way to say it, but he was adopted again and returned. Now there was a fight with another dog in his second adopter home, and a child tried to break it up. So he has a bite history. So it's important to know that too. So would we place him with a child? No, not because he's aggressive to children, but because he does have that history. But we are a big believer in disclosing everything that we know and finding the right family and fit. And this guy has waited so long And we do believe in second chances. We believe that there are homes out there for everyone. And if there's not, we're going to be the home for them, just like T-Can Copper. But this big dude has so much love to give, and someone out there will give him a chance. I
Yeah.
know it. He might not be good with
He
cats.
reminds
I
me
don't
of
feel like he'd
Tuck.
be a good.
Like if Tux can find a home, and
Yes,
like
that
I
was
agree. Oh, that's a good one,
anyone,
Sheila.
like
okay. Did you guys see Bucky's photos today of him in the
yes,
home? Can we just talk about the long-term dogs when we say them in a home with love? You can't help but stop and just
it makes me
feel
so happy. Now we
awe.
need.
Like
I know Edison's been one of our dogs before, but I just think that he has still been there. Sai, how long ago? It was like 3 years ago we started at Little Gray Barn.
3 years,
Mhm.
3 years in March, he will
Yeah,
have
and
been.
he was there, and just to see his face getting more gray and like, I know he's so
That's the
loved
hardest
and
part.
cared for there, and he is a very special dog, but it just seeing his face get gray makes me so sad.
It is really hard to watch the ones that are adoptable grow old with us, because they're
Yeah.
missing out. You think they're missing out on a family, but that's why I say our staff does such a good job of loving them like their own. I will tell you this too. I wrote a post once. The hardest thing people don't see is when you close the barn and you leave them at night.
Mhm.
That is the worst thing our staff does. Not because we're not leaving them like in a good environment or anything like that. They're surrounded by love, but just to know you can't take every single
Yeah.
one home, cuddle them, and throw them in your bed with you, or
Right, that's the
give
best
them the
part. That is the best part of having a
it,
dog. Come home at night after work and sitting on the couch lounging
yeah,
or in bed. Mine is Kingston, doesn't do any of those things with me, but just having him around
it's their
during that
presence.
time.
It is. Yeah.
And
So
I think in
I
the morning was hard when we were there too, I think, because you just want to get them all out at the same time. And they're just anxiously
Well,
waiting.
they get so excited to
They get
see you
so
when you turn on
excited
the
to see you in the
lights.
morning, and you can only do one at
Yeah.
a time. And it's like, ah, but yeah, leaving well, anyways. Pluto will be
so
our cover,
that's
but
so funny.
shout out to
Yeah.
Edison and congratulations again to Tux and Bucky because it just makes my heart so happy.
Yeah.
Anyways, well,
Okay.
we're at 47
I can
minutes.
keep going, so you should stop me.
No,
So
we have a part two coming up. So
I thought of like 4 different things, so I will stop while
Dear
we were
diary, write
talking.
them in your journal.
yeah,
Okay.
you get a part two for this episode.
Yes, for our welcome
Okay.
back. We'll do it
Okay.
next week.
Anytime.
We'll do next week.
Who's
Part
wrapping
two.
this up? Which one
Sai
of us is
does.
wrapping up? Sai, it's
Sai
your
has.
job.
Sai
Okay.
has the staple parts in the episodes. You and I just go back and forth, but Sai has very strict, or not even strict. That's not the right word.
It's not strict. I just sit here and listen to you guys.
No, but then you have your topics.
Okay, let me know when I can
You have your opening, cover, dog,
end
closing,
ending.
and ending.
Hit it.
As always, it's never too late for happily ever after.
Woo!
Music cue in. Okay.
Do
Let me
the